Seraphina Wildshore greeted her first hint of daylight on 23 January 1998 in a hurricane-patched cottage propped on oyster shell pilings above the indigo shallows of Charleston's Wapoo Creek. Outside, shrimp boats rattled rigging in the dawn hush, while her mother, a road-worn jazz ukulele picker who presses magnolia petals into her spare fret cloth, picked a velvet cord line that made jelly jars tremble on the sill. Her father, a Marshmore survey diver who sketches cloud herons on waterproof pads, leaned so close their freckles touched and told the newborn that porch gossip, locker whispers, and shop racks capped at 14 would always slide aside for anyone strong enough to claim every inch of her outline. Curves mean nothing but tidal rhythm in the Wildshore clan, so no one worried when baby Seraphina cracked a second cotton wrap before the kettle even sighed. Granny Adelma slid a bay needle under each split, patched the gap with squares snipped from a faded boat flag, then laughed that 5 extra stitches cost pennies, while asking a child to shrink can bankrupt galaxies of sunrise. Grade school hallways smelled of cedar shavings, peach turnover steam drifting from the cafeteria hatch, and salty fog sneaking through tilted louvers. Seraphina topped her classmates by half a head and eclipsed the projector beam whenever she traced loggerhead routes on the pull-down map. One damp recess, 2 boys hop-skip circles, chanting "tug barge" every time her galoshes thudded on hopscotch squares. At night, she combed the tightline, pocketed soda caps polished pro by surf, threaded them on fishing leader, stitched the rattling chain down her seafoam sweatshirt, and strutted into class at dawn, scattering rainbow freckles across patched ceiling tiles. A substitute aide filmed 8 shaky seconds on a pay-as-you-go phone, posted the clip to a baby video site, and by lunch, 15,000 strangers applauded the girl who forced teasing into lighthouse flair. Seraphina scribbled 1 lavender promise beside fraction drills. Clouds crowd only until you flash them bright. By 12, she worked the boiled peanut stall at the city pier while her mother's ukulele riffs traded licks with the gulls. Storage jeans stalled at her thighs, so Seraphina swapped tip jar coins for sun-bleached gill net, unraveled it into soft rope, crocheted high-waist culottes, and airbrushed egret silhouettes in squid ink. Her cousin snapped sunset photos of those culottes against weather-beaten pilings, and every frame sailed into a new corner of the internet she named Lantern Drift. Captives bounced from gullah slang to plain truths like curves, anchor gusts, steadier than sea walls. Before 16 candles flickered, 50,000 unseen friends double-tap each mango gold post. Proof glowing screens hush, cafeteria whispers faster than any coach whistle. A tidal turbine scholarship lifted her north to Savannah College of Art and Design. Daylight dissolved in pattern-making labs. Nights belonged to a 24-hour biscuit wagon pulsing neon guava under Spanish moss arms. The heat lamp became her softbox. Between buttery orders, she shot 90-second clips, folding parchment into palmetto flower barrettes while decoding dart rotation in half lecture spark, half shoreline hush. One upload overlaid dolphin chatter on lo-fi beats while she chain-stitched reflective anchor braid into thrift denim, and 47 hours later, the counter soared beyond 1.3 million. Coastal-style blogs crowned her the biscuit couturiere, though every sponsor email froze at size 16. She filed each pitch in a folder labeled shrinking nets, wiped honey off her cuffs, and plated another tray. Storm Safety Week dropped an invitation from Columbia Sportswear. They wanted her steer on a spring shell capsule called Creek Pulse. Seraphina answered with 3 peer firm terms: patterns climbing to a real 60-inch hip, half the crew hired fresh from community college fashion cohorts, and 10% of net profit pledged to oyster reef nurseries from Beaufort to Brunswick. Columbia signed before dawn, tinted the lab skylight coral. The chute opened on a sand spit where hatchling wagtails scribbled commas toward glassy ripple. She guided paddle borders of every curvature across mirror water while a drone sketched lazy infinity overhead. When the lookbook landed, every extended-sized jacket vanished in 41 hours across 31 countries. Lantern Drift leapt beyond 700,000 beacons, and she cried powdered sugar tears into the biscuit prep sink. If this creek-born tale already hums beneath your ribs, press subscribe right now. One feather-light tap keeps your rail space reserved, so next week's story drifts into your feed long before algorithm tides can steal it away. In the description, you'll spot a quiet doorway marked Love Link, a sign-strong roadmap guiding any genuine soul toward real attraction and the surest steps to win a woman's heart. spotlight shimmer attracts rumor cormorants. A clickbait vlog insisted Seraphina wrapped steel plates around her waist beneath creek pulse shells. At gray dawn, she paddled a cedar board beyond Spartina, planted bare feet in denim shorts and sports top, traced every silver stretch stripe with crushed bougainville, and riffed a ukulele break. So raw, 10 million viewers share that proof, brushing crimson pollen across their own curves until gossip sank like a cracked rowboat. Whiskey cart wages braided with capsule royalties and whipped into Wildshore butter. A jar of marshmallow soft cream swirling Tupelo honey, lime leaf oil, and mica sparks that glow seashell white in any flash. 19,010s cooled on her father's chart bench. Lids tied with braided shrimp line. Every tag printed, moisturize your horizon. Stock drained in 81 minutes, lifting $196,000, 20% seeded beacon grants that ship industrial surgers and splash-proof microphones to plus-size teens in shoreline schools from Georgetown to Tybee. 8 months later, 36 grant teams streamed a floating fashion and dolphin harmony gala aboard a retro shrimp trawler wrapped in solar bunting, sunrise colors splashing across classrooms from Kingston to Charleston Fashion Week wrote new dockside legend when a backstage vent shredded her sapphire mesh gown from hip to shin, 80 heartbeats before curtain. Seraphina ripped neon dock rope off a Rick brace, laced the gash like boot hooks, and strode as if the splice had lived in every draft. Shutters popped like kettle corn. Vogue Coastal named it Rope Cadence Rescue, while another million lantern sparks lit before brass horns shook the after-party pier. Trouble paddled back when an US assistant leaked cropped emails hinting she demanded oyster tower feasts and chauffeur skiffs for her rescue pelican Kismet. She posted the thread in full, refillable water urns, lentil stew for crew, caption tablets for deaf stylists, then routed that month's affiliate wave $135,000 into biodegradable crab trap pilots off Sapelo Island. Fans echoed her Marsh Creed receipts glow brighter than rumor grit until whispers flatten like clam shells at slack tide. Family studies her helm. Twice a month she streams Porchline Groove. Mom floats soulful chords beside a propane griddle. Dad recites cloud haiku. Seraphina flips thrift denim while Kismet waddles circles through powdered sugar drifts. One broadcast sailed past 9 million views when the bird sneezed glitter across the lens. A seabird refuge now sponsors every session, tagging rehabilitated pelicans with solar beacons bankrolled by Wildshore butter. Butter revenue has already crossed $12 million a year. She leased a dormant bait shed, carved skylights through corrugated tin, hired furloughed deckhands, and designed grads to whip custard and knot lids by hand during midday funk sets. Auditors begged for shrink seals. She echoed Granny Dottie. Fingertips keep legend alive far longer than plastic clamps, and rope ties stayed. Her feed breathes unfiltered weather. Basalt cliff portraits sit beside biscuit wagon selfies captioned, "Same sky, different tide." She shares breath loops recorded in CKs, printable resilience sheets in English and Gullah, and sliding scale therapy vouchers buried 3 swipes down. 133,000 readers call her shoreline honesty their first calm harbor. Community ride nights glow under crushed shell glitter. Hundreds peddle sunset levees, wearing Wildshore butter on collarbones, LED Spartina tassels pinwheeling from bike spokes. Ticket proceeds fatten beacon grants and raise wheelchair snorkel lifts at spring-fed coves. Chowder shacks bubble late. Conch stew bowls jump 15% on ride nights. Seraphina takes lead on a vintage cruiser with Kismet plush buckled in front, pausing to knot any rider's trailing lace. Her memoir, Currents Keep Names, is almost ready for 11 language shelves next spring, while a film crew follows her dream to weld retired buoy chains into floating maker labs for headland schools. Puma's Y2Wave lantern sneaker lands next quarter, threaded with reflective rope cushioned by algae foam, pledging 10% of revenue to Beacon nurseries along the Atlantic Arc. If your subscribe badge is still bright red, let it fade gray now. One gentle press guarantees next week's tide arrives before social currents scatter it. And don't forget that discreet link in the description showing the most reliable route to lasting love. This playback settles into slack water. Fresh tints of Wildshore butter, Beacon application doors, tonight's Porchline playlist, and that love compass are waiting just beneath this video, open and free. If the soda cap spine shimmer, rope lace gown rescue, or kismet glitter sneeze sparked even half a green, tap like, send a ripple in the comments, and share this passage with a friend who sells hang slack. Every curve sways ocean currents. Every scar reflects lighthouse beams, and the coast bows to anyone bold enough to plant 2 sure boots on the pier and greet tomorrow eyes bright. One final sea breeze across the night. Subscribe now, claim your reel, visit that love link below, and meet me on the next rising tide when another story flickers just beyond the breakers and courage calls your name again.